Two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves.
It's the OG edition of Write That Down here. Going back 10 years, every single week, we make predictions on Mackey and Judd, both in radio form back in the day and now in podcast form. We've got the football edition every week on Purple Daily. The spirit of both of these Wednesday shows is that we are the only platform in America that actually puts statistics next to our predictions, and you get to see just how wrong we are on a regular basis. Like, Judd never admits that he's wrong, which we chide him for, but we know that he admits he's wrong every Wednesday. He's forced to.
I was forced to. Mm-hmm. And we have been pilfered from, stolen, but then the people that stole it from us didn't actually hold it themselves accountable. And
the NFL Network, pregame thing.
The Sunday morning pregame, they just completely stole, write that down, and then they never came back with, hey, you know what? Last Sunday we went 0 for 6. So if you're going to steal it from us, hold yourself accountable.
And I know we don't have a trademark on the word, but I do find it interesting that this new athletic podcast with Diana Rossini and Chase Daniel, the Scoop City podcast,
thievery. These sports media thieves.
Are we the first ones to use Scoop, though?
We are.
I think we are historically. Yeah.
Okay.
Because write that down. I don't think anyone has done anything. There have been predictions, but I don't think anyone has labeled it, branded it.
Reckless speculation has been sniped by both. Now, we gave Greeny permission on ESPN.
Yes,
he came on the show a couple times. He loved the segment.
We were thrilled that he was.
Yeah, and he asked. He said, "Can I borrow this for my TV show?" We said yes.
Yep.
But then Levitard went and just absolutely stole it.
That is a complete rip off, because they play it and even like, okay, now you can go. Now you can give a reckless speculation take. So that is a direct rip off, Mike Ryan. I want credit for.
Didn't know Mike Ryan and Dan Levitard were such big Judd's hockey show listeners.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
My guess is that they have a few minions who sample podcasts, which is smart, and steal the best ideas. That's my guess.
Reckless speculation?
That's a reckless speculation.
We're honored.
And so like a minion comes to Mike and says, Mike, listen to this. And then he takes it to Dan. Dan's like, I like that. Let's do that.
We're honored. So here's how it works. Write that down. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. And we keep track of batting averages and home runs on the OG edition. Listeners, if you want to participate, like our guy John, our vice president of drumbeat operations from the draft party a couple months back, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for the coming week. So, okay, let's start with Judd's accountability session. You had 2 things come off the board.
Yeah, boy.
By the way, there's some all-star things that are coming off the board, but obviously if circumstances change in the next week...
You're fine on this one.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change to make Max Kepler, who went in the crapper again shortly after this prediction, an all-star.
Yeah, you said Max Kepler will be an all-star in 2024.
Disappointed. That was a terrible prediction.
It's probably not going to happen. You did say that Royce Lewis would land on the injured list, and the corresponding move sometime in the next week would be that Brooks Lee is recalled.
Yes. Judd made that prediction in the morning, and then Brooks Lee was called up later in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice work there.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a
interesting week.
Yeah, 4 things came off the board here for me. I said, I thought this, maybe I didn't mark it last week, but the Wolves will draft Cam Christie. They did not, just in case we haven't marked that one yet. I was so close on this parlay, this NBA free agency parlay. I said, LeBron goes back to the Lakers, Paul George goes to the Sixers, and then I had DeMar DeRozan going out west.
Which you did.
But I said Clippers, and he decided Kings.
Right state, Phil. You were in the right state.
Damn. I said the Wolves would acquire one of these 3 players by the start of the NBA season. Joe Ingles, Robert Covington, or Lonzo Ball. Jinglin' Joe. I have never been more excited for a peripheral role player to join the Timberwolves than I am for Joe Ingles.
Did that come off the board last Wednesday as well?
I think it did.
I think I think the news broke like Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was right around the Brooks Lee
Look
thing
at
that happened
Just
too.
unbelievable sports minds.
Amazing, man. You get this 37-year-old gunslinging Aussie with a dad bod. Oh, he's funny too. He's a good quote. And then I told you guys Byron Buxton would play in at least 61 games in center field in 2024. I think the spirit of this was it would be the most games in center field in like 5 years. So
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
Nice. Good week.
Listeners had one thing come off the board. Mark said Royce Lewis will have 20 or more home runs by July 1st. I mean, he would have had 100 by July 1st if he could just stay on the field, but guy's got to stay on the field, man. Okay, kind of a rough week for Declan that was culminated by one of his best predictions in a long time. So we'll start with the bad. You said Jey Uso would win the WWE Men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Should have won, but didn't.
Should have
so you
won.
got screwed?
He should have won.
So you got screwed?
Look,
I know what.
Our guy listener, John, we could all talk with wrestling for an hour, but and I love what they're doing with Punk and McIntyre, but we didn't need that to happen because
Why?
we knew we didn't need that to happen.
Criticizing the writers. I love this.
It
Very Volkswagen.
emphasized, first of all, I would argue the Money in the Bank briefcase thing, it's a little played out when there's 80% of the time there's a cash in and it's successful. I love the curveball, and it emphasizes one of the great personal feuds in the WWE right now.
But here's the thing. The moment Drew's music hit, you knew Punk was going to cost him the title. Like, it's too predictable too quickly. Like, you knew that was going to happen. What's the point? What's the point?
You knew that Cody was going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
We
What's the
didn't
point?
know that. I would actually argue we did not know that.
We knew
he
that
was close
Hulk
to
Hogan
setting the record.
was going to lose to Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6.
I'm just saying, too predictable.
I like where Declan's
It's one of
going
my
with this.
few gripes that
You
I've
take the
had on
writers
the new
on, head on.
regime. You already knew
Writers
that
screwed
match
up.
at SummerSlam was going to happen. We didn't need to have that happen. You were building a guy named Main Event Jey Uso. He deserves the
Well, like
briefcase.
mid-card Jey Uso, huh?
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing?
Bring
What are we
back the
doing?
24/7 title, and I'm in. I just want the damn 24/7 title back.
Oh, pissed Declan is about the Money in the Bank result.
I am.
Brooks Lee's first start in the majors would be at second base. Griffin, and again, if this happens, if there's all-star things that change, we can go back on these. But Griffin Jax will be an all-star with the Twins. And the Twins will have multiple all-stars this year.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like we're a little premature in removing the last one, but that's okay.
Yeah, if it happens, we'll come back to it.
He'll reverse it, yeah.
Yep. You did say, though, that the Twins would hit their first grand slam sometime in the last week, and that's a home run because Carlos Correa cleared the bases.
That was Friday, right?
Friday.
Yeah, it was to, I think it was to cut it to one run, or it was a 7-run
13-12.
bottom of the ninth inning. So here's where we stand a few months into, not quite halfway through, but like a few months into the 2024 season. Super Bowl to Super Bowl is how this runs. I'm still batting .409. Listeners at 354, Declan 344, and Judd at 323. So all of us well above 300. Listeners and myself tied with 7 home runs. Declan and Judd tied with 5 home runs. And then all-time career stats going back, the stat database goes back to 2018. The actual game goes back 10 years. Declan, a 359 career average. That leads everyone. Judd, 329 hits, leads everyone. And listeners with 62 home runs leads everyone. Okay, let's get him in here. You recognize him as the vice president of drumbeat operations from the Fillmore, the draft party. He is listener John.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
John, you're a huge wrestling fan.
Yep.
Do you agree or disagree with Declan's assertion that this is for the 6% of people that are this passionate about a WWE
keep this,
pay-per-view?
Pithy. I see both sides of the argument. It was a pretty hot feud that has already started back in January, so there is a certain point where you hit a level of diminishing returns. I mean, you do have McIntyre beating up Punk in his hometown, taking the bracelet that had his wife and dog's name on it, which is something you just don't do. I think what they tried to do and where the issue comes in is I think they felt like they were smarter than the fans, because everyone's thought was Punk is going to come, screw McIntyre, and the Money in the Bank match. That was the thing. And I'm sure what they thought ended up thinking was, well, everyone's predicting this, so let's circumvent expectations by having him win the thing, and then we do the screw job. And the flip side is there is also a woman's briefcase where we can celebrate for once isn't getting cashed in on the same night. So for the people who want a lengthier Money in the Bank, when is it going to get cashed in? You still have one to watch.
Yeah. Calm down, everyone. Calm down. Old Dex tweets.
Declan's pissed about this, and I am here for it. I appreciate this.
Right. Yeah. John, aside from wrestling, give us and the audience your background as a Minnesota sports fan. When did you first get sort of sucker punched by a Minnesota sports team?
Several times over. I think that's actually ties into why I end up liking wrestling, because you need to have other things to live vicariously through that actually achieves something in your lifetime. So you can pick your guys that, hey, they reach the mountaintop, and whatever success they have afterwards is a whole nother story. I was there for all the standard issue, the 98 bungle, what have you. I mean, I was born in 88, so 10 was right in that prime window. Watching the entire Twins run of making it to the playoffs every year and crapping down their legs against the Yankees and athletics, then yeah. So
it's a great life that we lead. I mean, you and I are born around the same time. I'm a couple years older than you are, like mid 80s. And it's like we were too young to really celebrate the Twins World Championships. And so we've had this, our entire lives have been everything you just mentioned, just a bunch of low blows, to use a wrestling term.
In utero in 87, and did not be able to retain memory in 91.
Yep. Judd couldn't retain memory in 91 either, but that was for different reasons.
That year,
that was because
along
of
with the whole damn decade, is just a blur. But we are tracking right now. If the season were to end today, the Twins would go to Yankee Stadium for the first round.
Let's go.
Because it
Slay
would be
the
Boston.
dragon.
Yay.
Boston would play the first division.
I want him again.
Winner that didn't get a bye. Well, you know what? The way that the Yankees are playing right now, they have been in a slide.
Bring him again.
Just what they need to get out of the slide.
Yeah, the Twins. You might be right.
That ails them.
Good point.
I'm just here for all the quotes coming out of the clubhouse right before that series starts in October, saying,
think about it.
"Hey, these previous teams have nothing to do with us. We don't think about the connection. This is all fan and media driven."
And here's Randy Dobnik starting game 2 again. Uber driver.
There's a non-zero chance that they do need like a game 3 starter because of injury, and that Randy Dobnak is available. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So, okay, let's get to the predictions. We'll start with John, over to Judd, Declan, and me. One prediction each time around. So whatever you want to do here, John, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I will say, for those that are not wrestling fans, you can skip to my last one, because I will say I will parlay more actual sports into this that people pay attention to besides the three of us. So tonight for AEW, we are getting the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. And so I'm going to be making some predictions, because this will all lead to All In Wembley Stadium. I feel close to that because I did get to go to the initial All In 2018, even though I spent a crap load on scalp tickets. Well, dang it. But anyways, Hangman Page is going to win the men's Owen Hart final over Danielson, and Mariah May will win the women's. So you will have Swerve versus Hangman. I guess this will be 4 with the series all tied up 1-1-1. Well, I mean, the Hangman and Danielson story, so that's why we got to have that. And then from that, we will get a Nigel McGuinness versus Danielson at All In. He's been talking a whole bunch of smack to Danielson ever since Collision began a year ago, so we will get him out of retirement. And lastly, MJF will face Will Ospreay at All In.
Okay, so this is it's a
Yep.
parlay here.
4
All
item.
of these are part of one. Okay.
Yep.
All right, you got all that, Dex?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Judd. What do you make of? What would be your favorite part of that prediction? Would you say?
Wembley Stadium, classic, redone, rebuilt. Wembley Stadium, easily.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
All
Good
in.
job.
Fantastic.
Nice job.
Write it down. You like
Thank you very
writing
much.
things
I had a
down.
quick response. I did listen. You guys thought I wouldn't listen. Not true. I did.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, I got a story about that one. All right, so I have a theory, and it's going to lead to my write that down. And I think Dex might agree, because my theory is this: we have seen the Twins called for an illegal defense, meaning Correa lined up on the wrong side, on the second base side of the bag once. But I think that this is going on quite a bit with teams across the board. And I think there's a reason why teams aren't appealing it more. So write this down. There will be an illegal defense called in the MLB playoffs or World Series based on a shortstop either being on the outfield grass, your feet have to be totally on the dirt, or the shortstop being on the first base side of second. So so I think teams I think what we're seeing is potential playoff teams are slow cooking this, because if you appeal it in like August or July, it's like, okay.
And then it snaps teams into...
And then teams are going to be like, we have to be diligent about this. But if you let it go till the fall...
Wait till there's a key moment in the 8th inning.
Bingo. And if you're on the wrong side, it eliminates the play.
Yep.
So you can a play happen and then you appeal, hey, go back and look at the alignment when the play started?
Correct.
It's like offsides in hockey, sort of. You can go back.
Yeah, I believe when Carlos got it appealed and the Twins lost the appeal, it was exactly that, right, Dex? I think the play had taken place. Yep. It eliminates the play.
I think
it's
it
a
happened.
Perfect playoff thing.
Was I in Cleveland when that happened? I think it happened in Cleveland.
You're probably right. But
remember.
it's only been once, and I contend that guys are cheating that. I think, if nothing else, I think guys' heels are on the grass, and no one's calling it yet.
Yeah.
Seems dangerous, because it's like you could just take a half step forward, and it really doesn't make that much of a difference in your position.
I just think it's I think it's a trick that teams are going to employ when it really makes a difference.
Okay. Dex.
All right, first one for me. This is technically a 4-item parlay, so I do believe this is a home. It's a home run, because it's obviously it's more than 3, but I'll put it out there. So write this down. The Twins sweep the doubleheader today against the White Sox, and their home run streak continues. So a home run in games 1 and 2 by the Twins offense. So at least one home run in each game.
Sure. Yeah.
And the Twins sweep the doubleheader. So they win, home run.
Okay. Yeah, so it's 4 predictions. Yeah. I mean, it's a bad team, but like it's baseball.
Yeah.
And you're pretty. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, I see.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay, I'm going 3 summer league predictions, because I am a summer league masochist.
Of course you are.
NBA summer league, baby. All right, so let's start with this one. Terrence Shannon Jr. The Wolves have 4 scheduled summer league games starting Friday night, 4 p.m. ESPN2. Terrence Shannon Jr. will score at least 20 points in a summer league game for the Wolves. Write it down. 24-year-old Illinois gunslinger. Mm-hmm. He's one of the oldest players on the team. He's going to come in. He's going to be pushing these 19, 20, 21-year-olds around a little bit. So he'll score at least 20 points in a summer league game. Terrence Shannon Jr.
Mm-hmm. Luka Garza
Write
will
it down. You like writing things down.
take a face card when Dex doubles down at the blackjack table that prevents me from winning my hand. Write that down. Is Luka Garza playing summer league?
He's not playing summer league, but a lot of Wolves players and NBA players still transcend upon Las Vegas.
And they go to the games. Yeah.
I think Garza would have a lot of fun in Vegas. I've seen him out here in Minneapolis a few times, so I can feel that. See that guy having some fun in Vegas.
But he's got to be fairly disciplined, because the way he's transformed his body and his game and everything, he's not. I don't think he's going out eating 4,000 calories and drinking a bunch of beer very often. If you look at that guy,
mixed drinks perhaps, just pound those.
Maybe a shot of tequila or something.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, let's go back to John here for your second prediction.
Okay, second prediction here. This is going to be a 4-leg personnel kind of prediction, because the fun thing about having two major wrestling companies, you can have guys go from one show to the other. So with that in mind, Absolute Ricky Stark's next greater than 1 year contract will be with the WWE. Jordan Grace's next greater than 1 year contract will be with the WWE. Ricochet's next contract greater than 1 year will be with AEW. And the last leg, I'm going to say his name so he will appear. Joe Hendry will appear in the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
Okay. Judd, what are your thoughts on Ricochet
I
going
love
from
that
WWE
name.
to the AEW?
I didn't even know about him. Ricochet's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Like, realistically, that's good for him. Like, he needs to get out of this mid-card hell he's been in for WWE for a while. He's probably going to be a legit stud for them in AEW.
Judd, Ricochet is one of the only wrestlers where his entire in-ring moveset is basically his name. Like, you think, like, well, what would a wrestler like Ricochet do? And he's just bounces around all over the place. Yeah.
So then he goes to the competing circuit, becomes popular, and then comes back, right?
He could. It has happened before. Cody Rhodes being the ultimate
So it's
example.
sort of like you go train there, little seasoning, and then you come back to WWE.
Yeah, I don't know that he needs more training. I mean, he's kind of a finished product that they don't.
But his name, so his name gets bigger.
Yeah.
That's how
I mean, and completely unofficially, Tony Khan will not be able to withhold. He'll absolutely want to run back him and Ospreay from the 2015 Best of Super Juniors match, which was extremely divisive at the time for its choreography.
What do you remember about the 2015 Super Junior event?
The divisiveness. It was just too much divisiveness. I didn't like it. I was upset by that. I didn't like what the writers did. I'm with Declan on this. Less divisiveness, more harmony. That's what I told him.
Yeah. Who would you like to see make a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble, the WWE Royal Rumble this year?
That's a good one. George the Animal Steel. My guy.
Is he alive?
Just go eat all the turnbuckles.
Who knows? But man, I've never seen a man as hairy as that dude. It was the greatest.
They should do a back hair versus back hair match with George Steele.
He's been dead for 7 years.
Well, he could have an offspring kid that comes in who's also, I was at I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, 85. There was an event at Met Center.
Yeah.
With George there. I want to say, was Hulk Hogan there?
Probably.
And halfway through, because they had come back from a trip, Brunansky, Herbeck, and like G-Man walk in, and they loved wrestling.
That's hilarious.
It was great. It was fun.
Man.
Write this down.
Okay, back to Judd for your second prediction.
Okay, I'm going to do another Twins one. The Twins will trade either Edouard Julien or Matt Wallner by the deadline this month.
Boy, I'm kind of Wallner. It's just if
deadline,
we're about to see 18 homers in a month and a half from Wallner.
That's why I'm giving you two names, because I'm not convinced. They do trade him. But I guess the question too is this like now indicative of what he's going to do? Is he going to be just incredibly streaky his entire career? Julian, as we talked about, is sort of just more and more being blocked. So I think one of those two, because I don't think the Twins make like this big splash trade. Like, it's not like there's, oh my God, I can't believe, but I do think they do something. And it's going to have to involve, if it's for pitching, it's going to have to involve a credible player.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
The Julian thing is, it's in a weird spot because right now, as long as Brooks Lee keeps performing, he's just kind of, I guess you could call him up at some point, put him at first base but even that, it's like there's a logjam right now.
Yeah, at first base.
Everywhere. It feels like an off-season thing to figure out with Edouard Julien, but yeah, these are good problems to have.
Write this down.
Okay, Dex.
Speaking of that, write this down. A starting pitcher who is currently not on the Twins roster will start a playoff game for the Twins in 2024.
Oh,
so
off the record.
This is off the 26-man roster or off the 40-man roster?
Off the 26.
Or organization?
Yeah, off the 26. Someone who's not on the current roster will start a playoff game for the Twins.
So it could be Justin Verlander or Randy Dobnak or someone in between, Nathan Eovaldi, and it would all count. I hope you backdoor this with Randy Dobnak
Yeah,
so bad.
well, I
Hilarious.
hope I don't.
Do you
I'll
know
be
what
honest,
Twins,
even
do you know
for
what
my
Twins
own.
fans will do if that's the case? Oh my God, the meltdown would be epic.
Redemption. What if he comes out like was it Major League 2 where Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn comes out? It's a tumultuous season, and he like puts the glasses back on, and now he's like ready to rumble. Dobnak gets out there, puts the glasses with the skull right in the middle of the bridge of the nose, and then gives up a 3-run jack to Aaron Judge.
Write this down.
Okay, write this down. My second prediction. Rob Dillingham will hit at least 10 3-pointers in Summer League for the Timberwolves. He will hit at least 10 3-pointers in Summer League. Write it down. Dilly.
Write
And
this
they're
down.
assured of a certain
I think they're
set
assured of
games,
4 games.
4 games, and then there's a playoff structure after that, right? Or there's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not totally sure how the bracket part
he's
works.
just gonna hit a lot of threes.
Yeah, he's going to hit a bunch of 3. He'll hit at least 10 threes. Okay, back to John here for his third and final prediction.
Write it
Okay,
down. You
we're,
like writing things down.
we're going to add a little bit more of actual sport into this. Gable Steveson, who was with the WWE, is now currently trying to be making it with the Buffalo Bills. And so this is part 1 of the parlay that he will not make the 53-man roster or their practice squad.
Okay.
The other thing is that sports commentator Joe Tessitore is starting with WWE. And so my prediction with him, he's going to be going to SmackDown, it sounds like. He will last longer than Jimmy Smith and Adnan Virk combined on commentary, which is longer than 5 months and 17 days.
Okay.
So if he
And
increases
Adnan
that, we'll
Virk
do
was a
it.
disaster. He was terrible.
There's just this overall thing that's been happening where I think it is Nick Khan based, where he comes from the world of sport and he just thinks sports, and this is a sport. Let's make it seem legitimate with sports guys. And we have people that come in and don't watch the product, and they fill themselves with platitudes of going, what a maneuver, levels of bad
What a
commentary.
maneuver! What a maneuver!
And it's and it
they don't know the
and it
names of the
fails,
moves.
and they end up eventually hating the grind of being gone. For them, it would be 52 weeks a year. And anyways, here's the last leg of the parlay. One thing that has been driving both fans and WWE lately up a wall is the incessant muting and blacking out of the screen for every single swear that's been happening.
Yeah. Like
So
if there's
I'm-
like for Judd,
yeah.
if there's a fan that like leans over the railing and flips off one of the wrestlers as they're coming down, Fox will like black out the screen for 10 seconds.
They
It's
do that.
ridiculous.
There's just nothing they
Yeah.
can do about it. But anyways, one thing that will mitigate that is in January, Raw is going to Netflix. So I'm going to go very specific here. Within the first hour of Raw on Netflix, an unedited swear or some form of nudity from WWE talent will be said or shown. And I'm going to put in this addendum: crowd chant does not count.
Okay. So it'll be like
It has
CM
to
Punk
be
will just drop an
on-air
F-bomb
talent.
or something. Okay.
Yes,
Love
or
it, man.
yeah.
Michael Cole just decides as the play-by-play guy. F it. Going for it all.
Seth freaking Rollins will get his real nickname that he deserves.
Yes. Amazing.
Write it down. You
Well,
like
John,
writing things
Print
down.
the
Great work.
t-shirts.
Great work by you here. Great predictions. Since you've got this life-changing platform right now and write that down, is there anyone in your life that you'd like to thank that helped you get to this moment?
I'd absolutely like to thank my family. I mean, they watch and put up with these shows, especially when a lot of people fall off of watching. I mean, my son has enjoyed watching it this whole time, but I also have a daughter and a wife who don't really care. So, but watching, these shows, pay-per-views, especially the AEW ones, that is a time commitment on top of regular sports viewing. So absolutely want to thank them for that.
Awesome, man. John, great having you on.
Good stuff, John.
We'll see you again
Anytime you
sometime
got-
soon, man.
Yep. Thank you.
There he is, guest listener predictor John, and vice president of Drumbeat operations at the Purple Daily Draft Party. So speaking of wrestling, by the way, we are giving away 5 pair of tickets to hang out with the Dexter and myself Monday Night Raw, July 29th at the XL Energy Center. This is the go-home Monday Night Raw leading into SummerSlam, where all the stories come to a head. So here's how you can enter to win one of these 5 pair of tickets. Open up the Score North app. It's free to download if you haven't already. Go find the Listener Rewards section, and you'll see the Monday Night Raw reward right there front and center. And you can use the code SLAM, that's SLAM, to enter. And we'll draw some winners. Again, 5 pair of tickets. XL Energy Center, Monday, July 29th for Monday Night Raw. Come hang out with us. Have a good time. Also, Nicolay Law is here as the exclusive personal injury law firm of Score North podcasts. Nicolay Law, led by Russell Nicolay, big fans of Minnesota sports, proud to serve the Twin Cities communities that they live in. They're just your normal everyday folks who happen to have law degrees to help you when life throws you a curveball. So you can start your path to winning at nicolaylaw.com or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAY. Okay, final predictions.
Write this down.
Judd, what's your third and final?
Okay, here's a prediction that's going to come off the board on Saturday, so I need Declan to take his earphones off. I'm not done with wedding predictions.
A bonus wedding prediction.
I got a bonus wedding prediction.
Let's go. Hold on.
Yep. All right.
Okay, I think he's good. Yep.
Okay. So, write this down.
I need to make note of this one. Hold on.
Yes. Mackey and Judd will be mentioned in a speech. It might be one, it might be two. It's probably one that Declan gives on Saturday. Has to be into the microphone though, so it has to be the officially sanctioned. So he can't be half drunk and like scream our names or something. Okay.
So we will be mentioned on mic by him.
On mic by him. Yes. So the two of us will get a mention.
Okay.
I think that comes off the board quickly, and I'm pretty confident it's going to take place.
Okay.
All right.
Man, there's Dex is just dodging predictions all weekend now, man. There's like his brother Liam's got a bunch on the board.
Yep. I just added one.
Fiance Kelsey, we each had a bunch. We'll see. Is it going to happen now?
I'm about to say, is it going to happen right now?
It can't happen now, by the way. The parameters of this prediction cannot happen today. So
okay,
you're safe during the rest of this episode.
Okay. All
right, Dex.
Write this down.
What's your final prediction?
All right, write this down. The Twins will trade at least one top 10 prospect via MLB.com, by the way.
Okay.
Via MLB.com, they will trade at least one top 10 prospect. I think the top two, Brooks Lee's on the roster, he ain't going anywhere. Walker Jenkins, I don't think is going anywhere. So it's more the 3 through 10 guys that I think are probably up for sale. Maybe even someone in the top 15 as well. I know I wouldn't count towards this prediction. But at least one top 10 prospect, we'll go with MLB.com's rankings, will be traded at this year's deadline.
Okay. And then my final Summer League prediction, this is for the sickos out there. So the Wolves yesterday announced that they signed Jesse Edwards, who's on their Summer League roster, to a 2-way contract. So he's on the official roster now, but he'll be at Summer League. And so he's a 7-footer out of West Virginia, kind of like a double-double guy at West Virginia. I think he's like 25 years old, 24, 25. But write this down. Jesse Edwards will grab at least 10 rebounds in a Summer League game. Let's go. That's right. I'm making Jesse Edwards rebounding Summer League predictions here on the OG edition of Write That Down.
Write this down.
For all you Summer League sickos out there, let's go. Jesse Edwards.
Go Jesse.
So, all right, those are the predictions. Oh, man, I love when we do wrestling heavy shows and Judd just sits there shaking his head for 30 minutes. What are these guys talking about?
I was fine with it. Like I did get lost. The first one, he lost me completely. But
I'm going to have to go back and make sure I have everything right there, too, because I thought he was spitballing after the first part of the part. I was like, is this part of the prediction or no?
So, quick question. Could Gable Stevenson simply not act?
Stevenson. Put some respect on his name.
Stevenson, sorry.
Yeah.
Could Gable simply not act? Was that the problem?
I don't know if he could perform.
I think it was more like, it's not really like acting. It's like, he literally couldn't, I don't think he could
cutting a promo
do the moves and
like that. Oh, okay.
But like the promo stuff,
You can
they
get
don't
better at
expect
that.
you to be a honed.
Yeah.
If like, there's a bunch of guys who have been doing it for 15 years. They can't cut a promo,
Oh, okay.
and if you can do the stuff in the ring
Why I
and
asked.
whatever.
So he couldn't
But
do the
he's
moves,
training with
basically.
Aaron Donald this offseason. He's literally training with Aaron Donald to try and become an NFL defensive lineman.
Well, and this what Brock Lesnar tried this in 2003-ish. Is that
Yeah.
right?
And he just fought everyone at practice every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't work.
yeah.
So we'll see how it
he
works for
makes it.
Gable Steveson. My guess is he'll wind up, like in an octagon somewhere at some point as an attraction. I don't know. So, all right, those are your predictions. The only show in America, shows, because there's this one and Purple Daily, that actually put statistics next to our predictions. Write that down on Minnesota Sports
Write this down.
with Mackey and Judd.